Well, that damn rodent in central PA is calling for 6 more weeks of winter, Jay. 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
All I want to know is what are your thoughts if I give you a present, maybe a groundhog skinned hat? I know I'm ready to go hunting.
Specifically for the one that called.
For the
right?
one, the one damn rodent that wants to ruin everyone's day. It's time to put this creature down. I'm done with its predictions. We'll get rid of him just like we got rid of Heather with the weather.
Ooh.
Give a bad prediction, you're out of here. Done. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm sick of the damn cold. I lucked out, though. I moved, and it literally froze the next day. I'm sick of it. It's time. Where is global warming? I've been waiting for years for global warming to change the weather, and I'm not denying it. All I'm saying is it's not changing the weather in the way that I was hoping it would.
Yeah.
I figured if we were going to destroy the world, at least, Jay, we could get some warmer weather out of it.
Yeah, you know what? I was always skeptic about global warming.
Oh, you are a skeptic, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? With the way this weather is, I'm kind of asking for it.
You're asking? Yeah,
I'm hoping for it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Punxsutawney Phil? Are you a believer? Do you believe the traditions?
Hell no, I don't believe
You don't believe
in
it?
Come on, they already had it written down before they even pulled him out. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you think it's some one of those jerks with the top hats who wants a colder climate, and he is screwing us all over.
Yeah, all these Abe Lincoln wannabes, they're just standing there on the stage and stuff. All the stuff is already pre-written.
So he's
they
the
unroll
one.
it, they read the scroll and shit, and it was already predetermined. It's like pro wrestling, man.
So he's the one that we need to sack.
Yeah.
Maybe not kill him, but I don't know.
Him, the mayor, and the
maybe
fucking
if we rough up the groundhog, he'll sing it to a different tune.
Yeah, why not? Or
So
maybe we can call Bill Murray and have him take care of him, like he did that one time, but then it didn't exist because nobody knew about it.
Okay.
Did you ever see that movie?
I've seen the movie, but I don't remember the plot. It's been some time.
There was that one time he grabbed the groundhog, he put it in the truck with him, and then they drove off the cliff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not remember that part.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's Jaye Cooper. I'm Brian Crawford. You're listening to River Talk. It is the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com, Pittsburgh's voice for local music, where you can hear local music all day, every day. We have a groundhog here in front of us, Jay, and it's not Punxsutawney Phil.
Creeped the hell out of me.
Creeped the hell out of you. This is Maisie. It's Millville's groundhog, and if you are a fan of the Millville Music Minute, which I would suggest you watching to get all of your up-to-date information for the Millville Music Festival, you would have seen my interview with Maisie. Maisie only wakes up once a year, and what Maisie does is Maisie wakes up that once a year, and she goes to a party, and she listens to live music,
Okay.
and views the art, and then she determines how successful the Millville Music Festival will be based on that information. She woke up a second time this year for an interview with me. She literally woke up from an entire year's slumber, where she only wakes up once a day. She woke up a second day to talk to me. I tried to get her in here today to talk about the party tonight, because she'll wake up tonight. But yeah, she's sleeping here all over, drooling on the desk when I was trying to get some inspiring words from Maisie.
I just threw a mint at her.
She's got to wake up by tonight. The party's tonight. She's got to predict the festival. She, unlike that rat-tailed bastard in Punxsutawney, only gives just and fair predictions. And you know what? Punxsutawney Phil, 8 other groundhogs, according to Time Magazine, who also predict the season. Mm-hmm. They've predicted a different result than Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah,
so
what was their result?
They're calling for an early spring. They're calling for good weather. They're calling to an end to this frozen hell that we're living in.
I like them.
What are your thoughts, you, the listening audience? Are you fans of Punxsutawney Phil? Would you like to see the rodent skinned like I do?
Or do you people just like the cold?
Yeah, fuck you if you like the cold. I'm so sick of it. You go into so many places. You go to eat. I was out to eat the other day, and they've got the temperature up. They've got the heat blowing, but you're sitting there freezing because every house in Western Pennsylvania is old and drafty. So you just sit there and freeze.
I'm still cold now.
I'm freezing.
I got 2 pairs of socks on. I got on my snow boots, and I'm still cold.
I got the temperature up to 75, and I'm cold.
Right, yeah. Let me just say that the studio is not cold. It's just me. I'm still reacting.
It is cold because it's drafty. It's horrible. It's miserable. I can't take it anymore, Jay. I'm going to go insane.
Ugh. See what it's
I
doing to
hate
him?
the cold. So
You know it's bad when he's cold.
I'm always cold. I don't know what you're talking about. I start bitching and moaning as soon as it gets to 60 degrees. But it was nice. I moved the other day. I'm in a new place of residence.
That's
and
right. You got your
I
own
moved,
shit now.
I moved to actually, I've already had my own shit. That's part of the problem. Every roommate I've ever had until my last roommate has never owned anything.
Okay.
And the first time I moved out of my parents' place to a real apartment, we're not talking about school. I moved to a real apartment, and I'm buying all of this stuff. I buy a futon. I buy a table and chairs set. Oh, by the way, this Groundhog party, go to it. It's tonight at Panza Gallery, 6 p.m.
Love that place.
Local music, local art. They're going to have dancers and everything. It's going to be insane.
Epic.
Free beer from Victory Brewing, and...
You had me at free.
And on top of that, yeah. So, and there's a small cover of $5 to get in, and that will go towards funding the Millville Music Festival. So,
I like that.
yeah, you're getting a good show for a good cause. So, the first time I moved, I bought the futon. I bought a kitchen table set, a china cupboard. I bought all of this stuff, and my dad's yelling at me. What the hell are you doing? Your roommate should be buying this. He should be splitting the cost with you. And he's going on and on and on. And I said, look, if I don't buy it, we're not going to get it.
Right.
I would rather spend the money on a futon to be able to sit and watch TV on a couch of some sort instead of sitting there on the floor.
Yeah. I'm with
That's
you.
just logic to me. I would
with
rather. So yeah, he's right. My roommate should have pitched in, but I knew he not that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But he has
I've yet
no.
to meet this roommate. I'm
Well, this is an old roommate. This is my first roommate.
Oh,
when I
okay.
first moved out of my parents' house.
Okay.
He's just not somebody he was not somebody who would be up on things. So either I was going to buy it or I was never going to get it because he just was too apathetic to put forth any kind of energy to get the place up to code.
For those who don't know what apathetic means, it means he didn't care as much.
Exactly. So
For the audience that's not big on big words like that.
So I bought all this stuff, and then every other roommate I had afterwards never had any of their own furniture, any of their own anything really. It was just like one big kid after another. So I traveled with all of this stuff. And now, when I moved into my place in Millville the first time, my roommate had everything. So everything just stayed in the basement. So I still have an entire family's worth of stuff. Somebody promised me
What?
that they would help me move.
Okay.
8 a.m. 100%, Brian. I'm not going to name drop. 100%. I'll be there. Don't worry about it. No big deal. We've got you covered, or I've got you covered. So 7:30 rolls around. I message the person, and then I text the person, and then I call the person, and then I Facebook call the person, and then I call the person again, and then I Facebook call the person again. The person read the messages,
But did not
then
respond.
still didn't respond.
I hate when they do
that. To this day, they haven't responded. So I had to move an entire family's worth of shit, including heavy furniture, by myself. I had a dolly, and I was a badass, man. I did the entire thing. I had the entire truck loaded up in 2 hours, at least the first run of stuff to deliver. But then I get to the place. What's
you're
that?
a beast, man. No, I was just going to say, for a skinny guy, man, you got a lot
Yeah.
of strength.
So, and I mean, and some of this stuff was really heavy, too. I mean, we're talking about this big shuffle-robe cabinet thing as well. So I get it all there, and then I look at the steps. And I tried, and there was just no way in hell I was getting some of this stuff into that house. So I had to wait until 5 to get reinforcements. But the moral of the story is people are bastards. And I could have gotten done with moving and taken a 4-hour nap by 5 p.m. if this guy would have showed up. But instead, I ended up being awake for somewhere around 40 hours, 40-plus hours.
Wow.
Because I had worked the night before, started packing, and then worked again overnight. So I'm at work hallucinating. And I remember I had these labels that I printed off, and I had to put these labels into different packets of paper. It's a struggle to explain what I do on air without actually saying what my job is, but I don't really want people to know where I work.
Ain't none of your business.
None of your business, no. And you don't know me well enough yet to know that information. And I really
And speaking of that, those who do know you, I mean, I'm surprised. You were talking about only one person that was, that reached out, said they was going to help, but didn't help. I want to know how come you didn't have a lot of people. helping you. Do you not know who this guy is?
I know. You would think I wouldn't have to raise a finger, but here I am moving an entire apartment by myself.
He is the reason I exist on podcast, people.
That's right. So, I'm there.
Jesus.
I'm at work. I'm hallucinating. I'm imagining people left and right, which is something that you do. When you go so far without sleep, you start hallucinating.
Right.
So I have all of these labels. I need to put them in. But I was so tired. I couldn't comprehend what I was doing. I kept forgetting where I was on the labeling process. I printed the labels 3 different times, and I still completely messed it up. And it's the simplest job ever. You either have to be on some sort of medication, super drunk, or in such a state of sleep deprivation that you become delirious. And that's exactly where I was. But I made it. I moved in. It's nice. And the most exciting part is there is a kegerator in the basement that's just waiting to be put together.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Groundhog Day?
Out in Punxsutawney?
Yeah.
No, can't say I have. I'm putting that on my bucket list, though. Looks like they have a good time.
It looks like an insane time, and I've spoken...
I wonder if they get a paid day off for that day.
I don't know. That's
I mean,
a good
it's
question.
their town. It's their tradition. It's
I
been going on for
imagine
over 100 years.
I would go. I would just take the day off work if I couldn't go.
I mean, just to say I've been to a place called Gobbler's Knob. I mean, that sounds funny enough right there. That it sounds like something.
What's it called?
To. I think it's called Gobbler's Knob.
I did not know that. So.
Yeah.
So I have a message from Hank, the businessman,
from anybody who can confirm that.
He's asking if there is free beer.
Yeah.
I am confirming that there is free beer, Hank. So Hank is a great local. Have you met Hank? Was he here on the show with you, Hank, the businessman, or was that on the Sunday show?
Yes, the one who wore the suit.
Yes.
The comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not a comedian.
Not the comedian.
No, he's an entertainer. He's a musician.
That's it. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was on the show with you.
What's up, Hank?
So yeah, good stuff from him. Yeah. Thank you for joining in. If you have a comment on Groundhog Day, tell us your Groundhog Day tradition. That's what I really want to know. I have no Groundhog Day tradition. I think it's a dumb holiday. However, I do love the party that we're throwing. I think that's a fun holiday.
Yeah, that's cool.
Predicting the weather and having your heart ripped out of your chest, that's not a fun experience to me.
No.
I guess it wouldn't be ripped out of my chest. It's more like it's frozen. My heart is frozen now. Frozen in time. Maybe that's where they got the idea from the movie, because somebody's heart was frozen in time with the depression of learning that they have to endure 6 more months of this Arctic prison.
I love your graphic metaphors, man. I love it. Now, I don't do anything for Groundhog Day. Whenever I think of Groundhog Day, I think about my uncle. Shout out to my Uncle Charles. He's 59 today. 59 yesterday. He's 59 today, too.
Oh, so he just had a birthday.
He just had his birthday.
So on Groundhog Day.
Yep. So
that's fitting.
Oh,
it's like it comes back every year.
And while we're on, happy birthday shout out to my hairstylist, Terry. It's her birthday today.
Oh.
Yeah. She turns... There we go. She turns 31 today, so big shout out to her. She's the reason why...
She's joining the club.
She's the reason why I look so flawless every time I come on the show, why my hair is always
Very good.
on fleek. So
Give
shout
her
out to her.
a round of applause.
Yeah.
I, of course, go to Salon 22, sponsor of the River's Edge.
Oh, nice. I was going to name the place, but I was like, they're not a sponsor yet, so...
Yeah, if they want to pay, we'll certainly give them shout-outs.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I'll talk to them.
So, Punxsutawney Phil, you said you don't think it's the groundhog's fault. I think it is. I think the groundhog comes out. The thing is how is he not going? What is it? If he sees his shadow, it's 6 more months of winter. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like,
how does he not see the shadow?
You got the bright lights on his ass. You got people taking cameras and shit. Of course, he's going to see his shadow.
That's what I'm just saying. There's all of those photographers and journalists. Maybe in this instance, Trump is right. Maybe the media is the problem. Maybe they are the enemy. Maybe we need to block the media from covering Groundhog Day. We'll get rid of the cameras, or maybe just no flash photography allowed. No cameras allowed. Only diffusers. Like, we have these diffusers in the studio, and they eliminate shadows. Maybe we can only allow diffusing lights during that event and get a true representation, a true and honest prediction. None of this orchestrated bullshit. It's a conspiracy. It's the media conspiracy with the weathermen, so that way they can get better ratings. That's what it all has to do with, I think.
That's what we need to do coming into the future, man. We need a talking animal.
Heather, she's conspiring with Punxsutawney Phil to screw over my day.
Ooh, man. Heather, what you do to him, man?
Heather, I'm calling you out.
He's going in on you. Heather, come back. You need to snap back at this. Come on. I need to tag her, man. Maybe she doesn't know.
How do we do it? How do we take down the groundhog? Not this groundhog. This one is
because
cool.
we got a couple of them down here.
We like this groundhog. This one here, the Maisie. We like Maisie. We don't like Phil.
One.
Phil's a bastard. Maisie's a queen. Maisie's going to predict tonight. I guarantee you, she's going to predict a successful and fun Millville Music Festival. But you only find out if you come to Panza Gallery tonight at 6 p.m. for the Groundhog Party fundraiser.
That was a good plug. I like that. That was really cool. I wouldn't do nothing to Maisie.
No, she's a queen, like I said.
Right, yeah. We just met. Haven't got to see her face to face yet, though. Hold on, let me just turn her for a second, see what she looked like. Okay. Wow, she looks regular. You can't even tell you can kind of tell it's a woman, sort of. Okay, that's a girl. All right, let's turn that back over that way. Sorry about that. Kind of looks like that groundhog from...
But we're talking about Phil. How do we kill Phil?
How do we kill Phil?
That's the big deal. Do we go in... Do we do it like... those guys, you know what?
I would say trade them out and then bring in... Or no. Put a voiceover. Put a voice box inside and then have them start talking.
Okay, what's he going to say?
Well, first of all, when they knock on the door, you notice how they didn't wait for him to say come in or who is it?
They just came in and ripped his ass out.
Yeah, and they just pulled his ass out.
Do you think they're crazy?
In his sleep.
They're all wearing top hats. Could it be like possible that their hats are laced with mercury?
Could be.
Could they be Mad Hatters?
I would definitely put it in a voice box. And just
who in the hell would come up with an idea of a groundhog predicting the weather anyways, except for a crazy person? They're all mad with mercury. That's the problem. Everyone in Punxsutawney is suffering from mercury poisoning. You know that'll drive you insane. That's how they used to make the old top hats. They used mercury in the top hats.
I did not know
and that would seep into the skin, seep
that's how
into
people
people's
got
heads.
crazy.
That's how people got crazy. That's why they have the term Mad Hatter. Maybe everybody in Punxsutawney is a Mad Hatter. Maybe this is just some insane state of delirium that has caused a prediction of 6 more weeks of winter.
Mercury in Punxsutawney.
They have it everywhere.
Okay.
That's what they used to use in your thermometers as well.
That is true.
They've changed that because they...
Not that they really need it. It's always cold in fucking Punxsutawney. What does it look like during the day? They only show Punxsutawney when it's cold out.
It probably is raging with fires
like
because it sounds like a town of hell with these horrible predictions.
Yeah, it just looks like Punxsutawney looks nice when it's snowing outside, but I never saw what it looks like when the sun is out. Not once.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Like
the London fog.
These people are evil. Evil with their predictions. Speaking of evil companies, we're going to be talking a little bit later about Wells Fargo, who's back in the news. This is a reoccurring story. They're villainous. They're vile. Every time I call them, I tell their phone representative that I wish I had made a deal with the devil because the devil is more compassionate. These people are... it's a horrible bank. Maybe not everybody that works there. They're not horrible, but the bank is horrible. And we're going to
say they are huge contributors to Philadelphia. In fact,
they
has their own football stadium named after them. Yeah.
No, it's the hockey arena, but
is it the hockey
one? Wells Fargo Center?
Yes, that's the one.
And of course, that's the home of the Philadelphia Flyers. So that shows you how reputable Wells Fargo is right there.
Ha!
So we've got that coming up as well. We want your thoughts on Groundhog Day. Are you coming to the Groundhog Party? Are you excited? I'm very excited for the party. I'm actually a little nervous because so many people have responded. It's going to be insane. I don't know
any event that you throw most of the time,
this is all Jenny Signs, the she's the yoga master,
the yoga guru.
Yeah, the yoga guru. She owns the Millville Yoga Collective. She organizes that. That's what we had her on the show. You should go back to the Millville Music Minute and watch it. But we had her on the show, and we talked about how this fundraiser is fantastic because I don't have to plan any of it. She does it all.
Well,
I just show up, which is wonderful.
Shout out to her because I remember I saw her perform with her band.
Jenny and the Jags.
Yeah, and her acoustic, man, just playing that thing. It's just she's
great. Yeah, she does so many different things. She's a dancer. She's a fire dancer, yoga teacher, works 5 jobs, and somehow organizes these fundraisers on top of it all.
Gotta like a woman who's multi-talented.
Yeah, she's amazing. So we've got that coming up. we've got the Groundhog Day thing. In a few minutes, we will have Cooper's Corner as well.
Yes.
So that's coming up around the bend as well. So lots of good stuff here today. The Facebook feed is kind of wonky, so if you're watching and you're having trouble, please go over to riversedgepgh.com, click the play button on the top of the screen, and you can listen to us old school, just like you would on a radio show, because we are a radio network. Oh, that's another big piece of news I did not bring up today that I guess I should mention.
Yes, please.
We talked with Pat Clunan a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago. He is a longtime friend of the show. He's been on multiple times. He used to be with the Herald Standard, and before that, he was with the Daily News, the McKeesport Daily News. He's now with the Indiana Gazette. But remember, he was an employee of KQV, which is the oldest radio station in the country, which shut down. They stopped broadcasting on New Year's Eve night. Right as it turned to New Year's Day, they stopped broadcasting. Well, they said they were going to try to sell the station to somebody, and it turns out they have been successful.
All right.
And Bob Stevens of Broadcast Communications, which is I actually have a history with Broadcast Communications, and Pat does as well, actually. Both of us have done shows with one of their affiliates. Pat, because he's been in radio for so long, he was on multiple stations. I don't know if I actually made it to multiple stations or if I was just on KHB 620 KHB AM. That's one of the Broadcast Communication stations. But Bob Stevens is a local guy, and he has multiple stations throughout the area and also down in West Virginia as well.
He's loaded.
My friend Ben Lawrence is involved with one of those stations down there in West Virginia. But Bob's a local guy, and that's one of the things that I really like about this potential acquisition. It still has to be approved from the FCC and everybody else. But the good news about it is, if this goes through, it's a local guy who will retain ownership of KQV, and my hope is that he will continue that all-news process. Mm-hmm. And if he's able to, or the programming, if he's able to keep all news all the time, that would be fantastic. It would bring back what KQV has been for the past 40 years, which I think would be fantastic. But either way...
Put in some new segments, too, along with, what they already had.
Well, I think if you did that, you would probably jeopardize well, I don't know, maybe not. In the late evenings, you could do some things. But that's one of the things I liked about KQV, is it wasn't news talk, which I love news talk. This is news talk, but...
Yes.
This is just straight news, and you could just get unbiased reporting, which was nice. So I'm hoping he's able to bring that back. I just thought it was important to share that with all of you guys, since it is a continuation on a story that we've spoken about in the past. Are people actually commenting and responding? People are watching. No, people are watching that.
People are watching, but they're scared to comment.
They're afraid.
I'm seeing
of course. People are afraid to go.
Susan, Barry, Dominga,
people are afraid
Amanda.
to go toe.
All friends of mine.
See, there you go. But your friends are too afraid, Jay, to go toe to toe with Pittsburgh's moral compass.
Don't be scared. Just come on, shout it out.
So we do want to hear your Groundhog stories. We want to hear your Wells Fargo stories too. Have you used Wells Fargo? Were you? I'm trying to think the term. Were you sold out to Wells Fargo as I was? I want to hear those stories as well. But right now, I think it's just about that time. It is. It's just about that time to roll into Cooper's Corner. Do you have the music prepared?
I am just going to wing it because
wing it.
my tag team partner is not here right now.
No Howie, so we're just going to wing it.
Yeah, so
all right, we've got Cooper's Corner right here. River Talk, Jaye Cooper, Brian Crawford here on the River's Edge.
I
don't know how to do that.
Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. That was good. I tried to do
that was good. I like that. Yeah, that was different.
I like the way you chipped in.
I tried. I'm not good at this. I'm not. It's not my talent.
Now his ass gonna show up.
Now Howie's in.
Oh,
all right.
You gotta see.
Howie's walking into the building.
Yeah, he's
on his way to the studio.
You gotta see this, man, because this dude he did a live video and got a lot of views for people checking out his new glasses.
Oh, really?
Come on, bring your ass in here. You can see.
Very good.
Yeah,
so we've got Howie D. Mack. He's making his way into the studio.
Yes.
And leave the mic up like this.
Leave the mic up like that?
There we go.
Okay.
And
can they still see me? Okay.
And we're going to talk to Howie and get his thoughts as well.
Yes, absolutely.
On Groundhog Day and that bastard rodent.
Yes. Come on in here, Howie.
6 more weeks of hell.
I had to do the song by myself because you was late.
We already did the song. We're rolling it.
Locked out again.
We're rolling with the Cooper's corner. Yeah.
Now we made sure.
Last week we made sure we didn't have to deal with Howie. We locked the door.
Right.
Locked the door. I was broadcast. You know, I'm typing in and texting from outside.
Yeah.
And I blocked the number.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
So real quick though. Now that we have you here in studio, Howie, what are your thoughts on the Groundhog Day prediction?
Yes. Come on, Specs. Let's hear what you think.
Do you want prediction?
Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of BS. I think it's a drinking day, and I think it's just a way for Punxsutawney to make some money one day a year.
Do you ascribe to my plan that we should skin the groundhog alive for making a poor weather prediction?
Yes.
All right. See, there we go. All right, let's roll into Cooper's corner.
Let's make groundhog burgers.
I agree. That sounds delicious.
That actually sounds good. I will actually try.
I will drink the Groundhog Day beer.
Okay. Yeah.
And eat the groundhog burgers. But I think we should maybe give a prize to the groundhogs who released weather reports that we liked. Not the fake news groundhogs like Punxsutawney Phil. We're talking about these other ones, the 8 other groundhogs that have predicted that we will have an early spring. And I will say Times Magazine, this is where this article is coming from that I'm looking at. I got to give them credit because they used the term hogwash, which is a word that I like, and you don't see it often.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it back for you.
But only groundhog I want to interview is the one that bit that guy in the face.
Oh, which one's that?
That was like 2 years ago. I think it was in Texas or something like that. A groundhog had bit the guy in the face.
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, it bit him right in the face.
Should I release the names of the... we're going to go into Cooper's Corner, and after Cooper's Corner, I will release the names of the groundhogs that we like. The groundhogs that we are going to give kudos to, not the fake news, winter-loving, frozen-hearted bastard groundhogs that are predicting more winter. We're gonna reveal the names of the groundhogs that we like.
That's right. Like the president, we don't do fake news either.
That's right. We're only dealing with real groundhog predictions, like these 8 that I'm gonna bring.
All I have to say is we're in the Northeast, so we get spring and summer and a little bit of winter every week.
Yes, we do.
This is true.
All right. So
Cooper's Corner.
Here's something.
Okay.
This is actually from. The topic is basically about what happened this past Thursday on an episode of Jeopardy.
Okay.
And I have a topic here where it says, these contestants don't know football. The answer is, what is an epic Jeopardy fail? Which is exactly what happened this past Thursday. The board was cleared all the way, and then there was this one contestant who was in the lead had no choice but to select talking football, and all 3 of the contestants didn't know a damn thing about football. This is the first time I have ever watched Jeopardy where it was a whole subject where nobody even bothered to even hit the buzzer to try and come up with an answer.
What was the question?
Well, here's one right here. Like, let me see if Howie knows this because he knows football. Okay, like
somewhat. I don't know. Come on, let's go.
All right, like your choice.
All right.
Do or don't name this play in which the QB runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back.
You mean the quarterback sneak?
See, I thought that at first too, but it's actually
pitch play. What?
Option.
Okay.
Option play.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's one. They didn't know that one. Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team.
The Cowboys.
Bam! See, he got that. He knew that. Who's Dallas? Yeah. See. Okay. Here's a good one.
I did not know that. So
here's one. All right. By signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled.
Fair catch.
Bam! See? That's what I'm talking about. He knows this shit, man. That's awesome. And then the final one, in between this, like Alex Trebek was just clowning everybody. He was like, I can tell you guys are big football fans. and as they just kept not answering, he was like, should we like go to commercial? Like, it was crickets the whole time. The crowd was laughing. It was so funny.
What was the last
And then
question?
the last one, it was actually a video clue. Basically, the name of the Minnesota Vikings defensive line.
With the purple people eaters? What?
Bam. See? Howie knew it.
Howie knows it all.
Howie
Because
knew
the
it. And
first
ain't
one
none
you
of
didn't-
those people.
You named the first one where it was it was worded weirdly.
Yes.
The ROP.
Yes, it was. Well, yeah, I didn't know that one either because the way it was worded.
It was called the ROP, the run pass option. RP.
Right.
So
But other
you
than
call
that,
it
but
that
you
way.
but you got the other ones though. See, and I just.
Well, I
find
mean,
that-
these people are all what they need. See,
It was
well,
a football edition episode.
Oh,
You
it
would
was?
think- well, yeah, because it's leading to the
Let's
Super
be
Bowl.
honest.
So of course
Jay,
they had to.
Jay,
you
let's
would
be
think that
honest.
they would have had to brush up on that. You had 3 geeks up there on the panel, and not one of them knew a damn thing about football.
I know about.
They don't know about the fair catch. Come on.
I know they probably know about Comic-Con and Star Trek and.
Yeah. Right.
that's what I mean. Like, it depends on the type of nerd you get. Because that's one thing I will take exception with. These fantasy football people act like they're not nerds. They act like they're jocks. You're literally sitting at home pretending to be a general manager using funny money. There's a throwback for you. Using
I like
funny
that.
money. And literally with no athletic ability, no ability to throw a ball. So how are you not a nerd? You're literally quoting numbers and statistics, pretending to be able to do a job that you never would be able to do.
Right.
So they're nerds too. I mean, there's no different.
Oh, they were definitely
What's the
nerds.
difference between being able to rattle off any statistic from any team in the NFL versus being able to speak Klingon? I don't know what the difference is.
The fact that people actually talk to each other like that, I saw that
In
one time.
Klingon?
Yes, they actually speak to each other like that, like it's a real language, man. I don't.
I just want to know who sat there and actually wrote these words down so other
Right?
Right? That's true. You know what the thing is in the
mother's
original
basement did they come up with this?
I guarantee you, whenever they first started putting out Klingon on Star Trek, I think they started speaking. Did they start speaking Klingon in the original
Not
Star
really.
Trek? Or was it?
No.
It was just in the Next Generation,
Yeah, it was
right?
Next Generation.
Yeah,
I guarantee
that's
you
when
that
the Klingons were real
That's when the
popular.
makeup got better because remember they didn't have the thing on the original
that's right.
Klingons.
Yeah, everything got better.
They got titties on their forehead.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah, matter of fact, the original Klingons look like the Mexican cowboys. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need no stinking badges. If you look at all of them from the original one, they basically in blackface with like. You know, I'm sorry.
Right, like all the
brown face.
characters were white, and they had to paint their faces to look like different nationalities.
Yeah, they had
It
a long
was
mustache, and their whole swag was different. It wasn't like it was like they were smooth and they were smooth criminals. When they say they
Do it again. Do it again.
I guarantee you, when they started the Next
And
Generation,
remember,
though,
don't forget Ricardo Montalban. Gone. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, the guy who started using that language in the Next Generation never created an actual language. I guarantee you, it was just gibberish that some nerd decided to string together
Yes.
and make it a language.
be really inventive when you don't have a girlfriend and you're in your mother's basement and the internet is acting up.
Right?
Really creative.
That's probably the only thing that spurs creativity, because otherwise you're just on the net, right?
Yeah.
Mom, more pizza bites. I can't get off this game. I'm hot right now.
So we have. I want to pull up this report here. It's the 8 groundhogs, according to Time magazine, that predicted a good end of winter and an early end of winter.
Well, that's
We've got
a really bad statistic right there because, you can only, it's a 50-50 shot.
Well, these groundhogs are right.
Okay.
These are the ones that are right. Grover, the other ones are fake news. Grover the groundhog from Pine Grove, PA.
He sounds like he's from the hood. Grover.
Yeah, he
Grover
did.
Isn't
Johnson.
Pine Grove close to here? Isn't that closer than
Grover.
Punxsutawney?
I think so.
I think so. They're better. Octorara.
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 Is that
Orphe.
Klingon?
That's Klingon, yes. And so this groundhog came from. What do they call the Klingon world?
that's
Is it just?
Vulcan.
Is it called?
Oh, my fault.
Okay.
That's
Vulcan.
So this
Sorry.
this groundhog came from Vulcan and moved to Lancaster. Live long and prosper, because you've got the right tradition, or the right prediction, rather.
Okay.
Sir Walter Wally of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Who the fuck knighted him?
Somebody who, probably the queen, because she wanted to take a trip to North Carolina and she didn't want to deal with that damn frozen tundra, and she saw that he had the right prediction and knighted him. I don't blame her. I would knight him too. He's a knight here on the river's edge. Dunkirk, Dave of Dunkirk, New York.
Okay.
Pierre C. Chateau of New
I knew they had to be
Iberia.
Louisiana. I knew they had to be Louisiana.
Yeah.
With that fucking French.
Charles the
Cajun
Ninth,
name. He wants
the
to check
state
her out.
groundhog of Connecticut, and Staten Island Chuck of Staten Island, New York, and finally we have Unadilla Bill of Unadilla, Nebraska.
What
So
the
those are
fuck?
all of the groundhogs that we approve of. The groundhogs that, and we also, of
I
course,
approve of their choices, but I do not approve of those names. What the fuck?
I approve of whatever they want to be called.
Oh my
We're
god!
gonna start-
If they're gonna predict an end to winter, then whatever
You know
they
what?
want to be called. Look, this thing's so tired. This groundhog, this one, it's called Maisie, the one that's gonna predict the quality of the Millville Music Festival tonight, 6 p.m. at Panza Gallery. She's so tired that you can even set her standing up and she doesn't even move because she's just frozen in a ongoing sleep. But she's gonna wake up and she's gonna go wild tonight with live music, live art, and live painters at Panza Gallery.
I say we change our mascot for predicting the weather.
To what?
Manny the meth head from Millville.
Oh
There
shit!
we go. Hey, if he predicts a warmer climate, I'm all for it. I don't really care what I have to do to get better weather.
You give him meth. You give him meth. He will tell you whatever whether you want it to be. Yeah.
So Wells Fargo,
Crystal meth Kathy.
Crystal meth Kathy. Wells Fargo's in the news again, and I'm thrilled this time. For the first time, finally, I didn't think this was possible that the banks would come down, that the government would come down on the banks.
Oh, I need
But or not even the government. It's the central bank. But the Federal Reserve is going after Wells Fargo. Finally, that bastard company. So if you remember, Wells Fargo, in order to meet sales quotas, started making fake accounts using people's social security numbers and creating fake accounts to meet sales quotas. And then, of course, I reported it on this show. I'm the only one in the media that covered the story. They posted a horrible advertisement that was attacking the arts and people who are in the art field. And they were basically saying that if you're an artist or a musician or a radio broadcasting master, that you don't have a real job. They had this poster. It literally said things like, she was a ballerina, and then she got Wells Fargo money and invested her in college and became a scientist. Or he was an artist, but that's not a real job, so he got a Wells Fargo loan, and now he's a professor or something like that. Basically saying that anybody who doesn't use Wells Fargo's money, that they don't have a real job. So that ad came out, and then it turned out that Wells Fargo opened up more accounts than they had advertised, and apparently now they have done such a horrible job that the Federal Reserve has actually come down on a bank, which is incredible. It says here, according to CNN Money, this is like church or like a performance. It's like going to
If that ain't Jesus calling, hang up.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, I'm hiding I gotta hide my stuff. Okay, get back in there. Okay.
So, according to CNN Money, it says the Fed handed down an unprecedented punishment late Friday for what it's called the bank's widespread consumer abuses. I feel abused every time I call them, including its notorious creation of millions of fake accounts. Wells Fargo won't be allowed to get any bigger than it was at the end of last year. $2 trillion in assets until the Fed is satisfied that it has cleared up its act. So it's not allowed to grow. It's at the current state. To me, this punishment is not severe enough. I want to see people fired. I think people should be put in prison. I think people on the top should be put in prison for fraud. It's fraud is what it is when you create these fake accounts, and if it's being driven by upper management, I think it's time that these people are held accountable, prosecuted, thrown in jail. There should be a special banking jail for people like Bernie Madoff or whoever these jackasses are that are running Wells Fargo. I think it's time that there's a special we have a special prosecutor for everything. Why don't we have a special prosecutor for bankers?
It's a good question. I don't know why.
They can investigate.
And also, don't forget, they're also getting sued for all that. They have to pay back all that. If you had a loan through them, they owe you money. They was overcharging you.
Yeah, that's another thing that happened. That's true. They were double charging people's automatic payments.
Yeah.
So if you set up for automatic payments, here you are, just think about this for a second. Here you are trying to be a responsible person. You don't want to miss a payment. You think that Wells Fargo, well, first off, you're drunk one night and you think that Wells Fargo is somehow reputable, and you decide to allow them to automatically deduct money from your account. And you think, I'm being a good citizen. I'm being a responsible person. I'm handling my finances appropriately, and I'm going to make sure that I don't miss a payment. So you give Wells Fargo the keys to your bank. Big mistake. And then they start taking double what they're supposed to out. And then they're slow to resolve the problem. Of course they are, because they're raking in the cash. It's time. I think Wells Fargo should be broken up. I think the bank should be broken up. I think their management, I think the board of directors and their CEO should be thrown in prison. I think the bank should be broken up into smaller entities. And I think it's time that they're held accountable.
What do you think, Howie?
I'm still thinking that you can't grow more than $2 trillion in assets. What?
Yeah.
That's the.
I was.
What does $2 trillion look like? I've never seen $2 trillion
more money than
before.
we'll ever see.
Oh.
So I was tricked into going. Not tricked. I was screwed over. I was scammed into being a client of Wells Fargo. I never would have brought myself to. I never have been at such a low point in my life where I would have turned to Wells Fargo for anything. But here's what happened. I had a bank called Irwin Bank.
Okay.
And it was a nice small bank. Irwin's a small town out in Westmoreland County. I grew up in North Irwin, which is right next to Irwin. It was literally right up the hill. It would be like, so we're here at Smalls. We're looking through the window out of the studio across the valley, and you look at that hill. Basically, we would be in Irwin here. On top of that hill would be, or that hill would be North Irwin. That's how close it was to downtown Irwin. Okay. So it was nice because my student loans were through them. And if it got to a situation where I had an issue for some reason or another, I could literally walk to the corporate headquarters of Irwin Bank and air my grievance. So it was nice. Irwin Bank, though, was purchased by S&T Bank. And S&T Bank, they were coming in and trying to basically take over this whole region, and they failed. But, you know, I don't know who I dislike more, S&T or Wells Fargo, because S&T bought Irwin Bank and sold my loans to Wells Fargo against my will. I don't think that should be legal either. I should be able to sound right. I should be able to determine where my loans are through. Like, I picked Irwin Bank specifically when I left college, and I should be able to then transfer my loans to another local bank or a bank of my choosing. If I want.
Right.
I don't think that S&T should be able to sell my assets or my loans, I guess my debt, to an evil, maniacal organization run by half-wits. Or not, they're not half-wits. No, they're too intelligent for that.
Yeah.
By
charlatans.
Yes. I like that. That's good. Like Wells Fargo.
That was a nice word, Howie.
I don't think I should be subjected to that. Have you ever had that happen to you? Has a bank ever sold your loans to?
Oh, they sold. What caused the credit crunch back in 2008 is because all that. People's paperwork was so screwed up they couldn't get their deeds to their house. People, they weren't paying, like if they say some of the loans were they were supposed to pay your property tax out of it. So, you know, when you're paying the loan, they're supposed to pay part of your loan to your property tax. They didn't do that, so people were going into default with the with the municipalities and all that other stuff. Oh,
I'm sure bad. Wells Fargo was leading the charge.
It started like in 2000. It was like, you know, like we come out of the 90s. You know what I mean? And but everybody's money was free. The economy was doing good. People were getting those loans, and the predatory loans came out. Then there were banks selling things to each other. As I say, I've been with. The bank I was Landmark Savings. Now I'm with Citizens, right?
Ooh, that's a mistake.
No, but you understand. I started with Landmark back in the 80s.
Citizens.
Citizens
I've never gone to another bank.
I still owe them money.
The only person that Citizens Bank isn't worried about is the citizen.
Right.
So,
Ooh.
Yeah.
according to this is a good quote from Janet Yellen, who is the outgoing Fed chairwoman, and I wonder if Donald Trump has stock in Wells Fargo because maybe that's why she's being replaced. But she says that we cannot tolerate pervasive and persistent misconduct from any bank. And then here it says that Wells Fargo admitted that its workers responded to wildly unrealistic sales goals by creating as many as 3.5 million fake accounts.
Wow.
The bank has also said it forced up to 570,000 customers into unneeded auto insurance. So,
Yeah.
horrible organization. Probably run by, you know what?
What?
I bet you that's where the big the big bike lobby does its banking, Wells Fargo. This is The River's Edge. I'm here with Howie D. Mack and Jaye Cooper, and we're broadcasting live from Mr. Small's Theater at riversedgepgh.com, Pittsburgh's voice for local music. And I think it's that time for the Hood Rat of the Week, would you say?
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. We've got the Hood Rat of the Week right here on The River's Edge.
Oh, yeah. Be bringing back the Macarena.
Look, we came, we saw, we died. We came, we saw.
Speaking of Hillary Clinton, did you hear that story that came out about her?
Which one?
What new? Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
which one.
so she's the obviously Trump is a scumbag. We're not refuting that, but she's often been held up as the champion of women, and here it turns out that she protected a top staffer who was accused of sexual harassment,
Yeah.
and she allowed him to skate by. So yeah, champion of women, my ass.
Yeah.
But she does have a great remix on YouTube. Let's play it some more.
It's not a laughing matter. I take it really seriously.
I like that.
All right, that's Hillary Clinton leading us into the Hood Rat of the Week because she's a hood rat herself in some ways, in my
Yes.
opinion.
We all have hood rat tendencies. Let's just be real. But not like this guy who I'm about to talk about.
Yeah, let's
man
roll into
arrested working out at a community gym, butt naked, while in Florida.
Butt naked.
Yes, naked. A naked man reportedly was arrested after residents at an apartment complex in Orlando caught him working out in the community gym naked. CBS affiliates, the WKMG TV, writes that the deputies arrived at the Andover Place apartments where a woman saw the tenant identified as Carrie Haynes, whose picture you see right behind me. The deputies
Describe him because some people listen to the show and they don't see the pictures.
He kind of looks like, who is that actor? Well, let's just say, okay, he looks like a guy in shape. Obviously, you can tell by the broad shoulders and stuff. He looked like he's in pretty good shape. Older guy, looked like he's about in his 50s. They didn't really, I don't think they mentioned his age on here. But yeah, Carrie Haynes with a beard, gray hair, and he was naked. Apparently,
Why was he naked? Does it say?
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
He doesn't need to be aerodynamic or anything.
Okay, deputies say that a maintenance worker at the complex saw the man who apparently was riding a stationary bike nude.
Ooh.
Yeah, so don't ever get on that bike again.
Throw that seat out.
So apparently the worker asked the man what he was doing. He replied, "I'm working out." And the worker captured the encounter all on video. I wish we had that video. Gave it to authorities as evidence. The man's workout routine was not done, according to him. He allegedly left the gym to return to his apartment, but was seen laying in the grass masturbating by the community pond. Yeah, there's more shit.
Well, it is a community pond. I mean,
Then,
he just wanted to share his fish with the rest of the community.
There's more. The worker told authorities that Haynes also urinated in the community pool.
The trifecta.
Right? So the deputies found Haynes and they escorted him
Wait,
back
was he
to his apartment.
was he masturbating in the pool?
No, on the grass.
Oh, I
the
thought he was
grass, near
masturbating
near
in the
the
pool.
No,
Oh,
he
yeah.
needed to get a good grip.
Okay.
Yeah,
You need
because he
to-
wouldn't have got
need
a
that
good grip if he got in the water.
Pool, yeah.
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 And that water might have been cold to throw his
Could have
concentration all
had
off.
shrinkage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've all been there.
Yeah.
I was in the pool. That was a George reference from Seinfeld for those who never saw that. That was pretty funny. Deputies found Haynes and escorted him back to his apartment where they found his clothes on the living room floor. He was arrested
Neatly
on charges. Yeah. Yeah, never touched them.
Those are my going out clothes.
Those are staying in clothes, obviously.
Yeah.
He was arrested on charges of exposure of sexual organs. And yeah, I never heard that. A charge of exposure of sexual organs. I never heard that
Did you
before.
ever see Repo Man, the genetic opera?
Yes, I've heard of it.
This guy could be a cast member.
Yeah, he could. Disorderly conduct also and indecent exposure. Yeah, I know about that indecent exposure shit. That takes me back to 1999. Yeah.
We were once mooned on a boat in Pittsburgh from somebody in a hotel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was on prom night, actually. We're out on the prom and...
On prom night?
Yeah. That was an interesting
Okay.
story. I only went to prom once. I was supposed to go twice. Second time was kind of sad, but why I didn't get to go. Well, no, my date had cancer and she couldn't go the second time, so that was sad. But the first time was great because the person I was taking, I asked her to go to prom, and then literally, I think it was a week before, she tells me that she doesn't feel like going. And I told her, I said, well, I already bought the ticket and I already rented the suit, so you're coming.
Yeah.
I didn't give her a choice. I said, you have to go now.
Right.
So she did. And I had a great time. She had a miserable time because she didn't want to be there, but I had a fantastic
what
time.
about the moon? No, go back
Sounds
to the
like my
moon.
prom.
No, let's go back to the moon. How did you get mooned? What was going on? Like you just
Some guy was just in a hotel, and he just literally mooned the boat from the hotel.
Oh, okay. Did he knock on the window first, or how did he get
I don't know. One of the students saw him from the boat. I think they sent that. This is kind of stupid, though. I think they sent the police there to get him in trouble for mooning people.
How did it look?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Was it pale? Was it hairy? Did he have pimples on his ass? What?
I didn't see him. I was probably inside.
Did he give you the moon plus the fruit bowl?
I don't know. I didn't see it. They told me about it though.
Some people don't know what the mooning is. Then they'll get the whole fruit bowl.
When a drunk in the
I like that.
Sheridan
Hotel. That's what Brandon Johnson said. Hotel. HEAUXTEL.
When a drunk in the Sheridan moons a boat, you've got 6 more weeks of summer.
That would be our new tradition.
That's a good one.
That's our. You know what? You
Write that
came,
down.
You've came.
Write that down.
We're gonna rent a room in the Sheridan.
Oh yes, I'll be mooning everybody.
Yes.
I'll be mooning until March.
We're gonna rent like a whole bunch of hotel rooms and put like when we have somebody on the scanner so we can run around from different rooms.
50 Shades of Moons.
Yeah. We're gonna get a whole bunch of different colors. Well, what shade was it? I can imagine the lineup.
Hey, I will do whatever.
Picture that in a
takes.
lineup. Which one was it that mooned? And then like all the guys have to like turn their backs and pull their pants down and moon everybody. Was it his ass or was it his ass?
Well, it was more of a fruit. They need to go down a little bit further. We need the whole fruit bowl.
It was like number 2 but darker.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say we've made this change. We've made this change to the Facebook page, and people are digging it. We're getting more views. We're getting more traction.
Of course.
Yeah, people just want us.
Yeah.
And they want me. They listen to both shows. They want to hear what I have to say. They want to hear the jokes that we have. People care about us. That's what it means. It means that we're important. It means that we're top people in the Pittsburgh scene. The numbers are showing it.
That's right.
The numbers are better.
And you want to know how much you can really show us how much you care?
Give us money on the Patreon account. That's how you could show.
Yes. And show up tonight.
RiversedgePGH.com. Click the Patreon account.
Show up
show up tonight. But give us money on Patreon too.
Yes.
We'll take your cash.
That's right.
So,
We need more sponsors. We need that too.
So
We could definitely use more of that. You can never have too many sponsors.
speaking of which, when we kill Punxsutawney Phil for giving the wrong prediction, for spreading fake news and disseminating bad information, we're not going to send him to Hans. He doesn't deserve a Hans funeral home. He doesn't deserve the touch of a family-owned, caring funeral home. No, we're going to send Punxsutawney Phil to one of those corporate, evil, mega funeral homes funded by Wells Fargo. That's what we're doing with Punxsutawney Phil.
I could use Punxsutawney Phil's fur for my feet right now. My feet are still cold.
And it's 75 degrees or 74 degrees here in the studio right now. And it's cold because there's a draft. The studios are very wonderful. It's not this place. It's just Western Pennsylvania and 16-degree temperatures or whatever it is. Okay, Google. What is the weather? We'll find out what the weather is right now.
Yeah, no global warming. It's global chilling down here. What the fuck?
I don't like it. It's 21 degrees outside right now. It's too cold.
21, that's it?
21 degrees.
It was 10 degrees when I left the house.
Yeah.
10 degrees when I left the house. So you're telling me it went up 11 degrees since I got here?
That's what Google's saying. We don't have...
You're full of shit, Google.
We need to bring back Heather. Maybe we'll bring back Heather and get an actual honest prediction.
Ooh, there we go. What does the weather say?
This is exactly like church. We've got phones ringing everywhere.
What are they saying? What's the weather?
Are you looking at weather too, Howie? Are you getting a different weather prediction?
Because I want to know what the real weather is. That 21 degrees, that sounds like bullshit to me. I don't...
Trying to get
But that's the thing is these places all have a draft. So as warm as you try to make it, by burning fossil fuels, doesn't make a difference in that
I
draft.
don't know.
That draft is still there. So
trying to find a weather app. I can't.
You can't find... It should just say it on the phone. I'm going to turn my phone...
I'm going to pull up some information.
It says right now in Millville 13 degrees.
13 degrees. All right. So
Yeah, that sounds better than 21.
I'm going to trust your weather. That's what Google's saying.
Yeah,
Where's
Google is full of shit.
Where's your weather coming from?
Mine's coming from AccuWeather.
Oh, AccuWeather. Okay.
Me, you got the same phone. This is 21.
So his is
both
21
y'all
too.
phones. Y'all got the same phone, don't
yeah.
you?
But yours says AccuWeather. That sounds very accurate. I'm going to go with that. Have you ever had the
I like
weather
that.
bug? Every time I download the weather bug, I get spyware.
Oh, yeah?
I don't like the weather bug. So we've got, it's today, February 3rd, at 6 p.m., Panza Gallery. I'm going to run down the information. 90 people say they're going on Facebook, and 433 say they're interested. So I'm actually nervous that we make it too many people at this event, which would be fantastic.
Yes.
But
There's never such thing as too much.
you've got, when you can't get into the door.
You just got to stand on top of each other.
All right.
Pretend like it's a concert.
Just leave me.
All the chicks sit on each other's shoulders.
Okay, just leave me my personal space. I'm a big shot. I need room, so I need breathing room.
Then you
I've got a
better-
personal bubble.
I was about to say, you better get in the front.
I just
Be
expect
the
people to
first one.
move out
You
of
need to
my
be
way
the-
as I walk through.
You need to be the closest to the bathroom.
I'm the
That's
chairman of the
basically-
festival. I'm the master of the Millville Shore. I am the king of the Allegheny. People know who I am. And then again, people are going to want to touch me because they know who I am.
Okay. Bring your sanitizer with you. Bring your
Yeah.
hand sanitizer.
I don't know.
You might have to shake some hands.
I'll fist bump.
There you go.
There we go. Or no, I'll shake hands with my mind. Who was I listening
I
to
don't,
the
I
other
don't
day?
think they're that advanced.
I was listening to a talk show the other day where they
Do like
they
we do.
mentioned-
Give the nod.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. I was at a talk show the other day, and someone said that in China they shake their own hand. They do this, and then they do that. Yeah.
What?
The
They don't-
fuck?
they don't-
Wait
they
a minute.
don't-
Who
they don't
does
do this.
that?
China. Apparently, they shake their own hand. I don't know. I've never seen
They
it.
shake their own hand and then they bow?
Yeah, but I like that better than shaking someone's hand because then you don't have to get their diseases.
Yeah,
because
okay.
you know what?
That sounds like too much to do.
I'm old school and I prefer a good handshake, but the thing is not enough people wash their hands after they're done pooping. So
You got that right.
yeah, so it's like I don't want to touch someone's hand after they've urinated all over it. So
What the hell? Urinated all?
people urinate over their hands all the time. Don't you see it when you're in the bathroom? You're in the urinal.
That means
And
you
then
must
you-
have
and
the
then-
smallest dick ever if you are peeing on your hands, man.
Well,
What the
apparently you're not a real man if you can't wash your hands after you're done going to the bathroom anyways, because you are spreading disease and contaminants across the country. A real man would wash his hands and make sure
Exactly.
that he's taking care of the elderly and the babies. So
The only pee, like if pee were to fall on us, it should fall on our pants because it's so long that when we shoot, it reflects,
ricochets back.
ricochets off and
Don't
it
you hate
lands
the
on our
ricochet?
jeans. I do hate that, man, and I hate
ricochet.
when I pull my shit out and the tip smells like the urinal cake.
you don't have to worry about that at Panza's because he doesn't have a urinal.
Cake. That's why.
But
Just for you. He kept it.
It's pink. It's pink and scented.
there is going to be free booze, free alcohol from Victory Brewing. There's going to be free food. I know I saw Tazadora and Nova Cafe listed as providing free food for this event. And there's going to be awesome bands. There's going to be not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different bands performing, including Elkhound, the Moat Rats, Jenny and the Jags,
Jenny
Moa
and the
Nadon,
Jags.
and the Goodfoots. So you want to stop by there. It's going to be a $5 donation at the door and $10 for wristbands, which will allow you to drink. So you're paying for the wristband to allow you to drink, and that way they'll know that you're 21. But then at that point, you don't have to pay anything for the alcohol. So I think it's
At
it's
the Panza
worth it.
Gallery, baby.
Yeah, Panza Gallery. It's a great venue. There's
Love
going
that
to be,
place.
There's going to be live art painting. There's going to be dancers there. I don't know how they're going to fit everything in there. There's so much packed into one night. Maisie's going to wake back up.
Yeah,
She's a party animal when she wakes up. Trust me. You don't want to miss it.
Go back to sleep, rest it off and shit, because you
can listen to my interview with her at the Millville Music page on Facebook at Millville Music, or you could just subscribe to us on iTunes or Google Play or YouTube and listen or watch the Millville Music Minute that way as well. It may be on millvillemusic.org. I can't
on
confirm
everything,
that.
baby, everything. And of course, for those with the laptops, just go to riversedgepgh.com.
Yeah, well, no, it's actually the Millville Music Minute doesn't post there. It
doesn't post on there?
No, it posts to the
It's gonna be on there, too.
millvillemusic.org. However, I don't think it's up to date. But again, if you go to
It
the
will
Millville,
be. Stay tuned.
Go to the Millville Music Facebook page at Millville Music, and
Okay.
you can see everything right.
Oh, I
there.
love all those sponsors.
Yeah, we got some great sponsors for that.
I've been there.
I'm not going to give them any plugs on this network because they don't sponsor me at the River's Edge. So when they sponsor me here, then I will certainly give all the plugs that I can.
I'm so glad I didn't say anything out loud. Okay.
Yeah, I'm mentioning Victory because they're giving free beer at this event. So which
Yes.
is pretty sweet.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Second favorite F word, Howie? Free.
Actually, that's my first.
Oh,
your
yeah,
And
that's
you
right.
combine it with my second, it's a good time.
That's right.
What do you guys have coming up? You've got the open mic on Wednesday?
Well, we do have our midweek mic. I got a new flyer up. I didn't send it to you, but I'll post it on the page later. Yeah,
All right.
midweek mic every Wednesday at the Hidden Pub, 328 Atwood Street. In 2 weeks, on the 17th, we have the Laugh Your Nuts Off, a night of stand-up comedy and wine tasting. Proceeds will go to the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation. I was trying to say that without laughing because I just find that
You
funny.
failed.
This is weird because the title. I mean,
And don't forget the flyer with the nuts with the wings on.
I didn't even notice that. Is that what that was? I thought that was a radish.
No.
Those are balls with hair on it. Oh, shit.
with
Yo, I didn't even see that flyer. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
We got our own individual. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so we got that going on. And then, of course, we got some other stuff going on in later February, which we will comment about when we return on the 17th.
Very cool.
Yeah. Also, hey, our Facebook page, On Our Way with Howie and Jade. Like the page, man. We got videos up. We're probably going to do another one today. So we're gonna post up because we were talking about doing that on the new River Talk page.
Let's schedule a date to do that so it's the same time every week. That way you can always look forward to seeing the On Our Way with Howie and Jay. I think that's probably the route to go.
Yeah, we could do that.
Make it a regular thing. I think that's one thing. We want to add extra content to that page. And I think that's a really fun way that people who like you guys can get to know you.
Oh, they love us.
Yeah.
You better love us.
And yeah, you can find that at River Talk actually it's River Talk PGH on Facebook, and you can find our Facebook page there, or you can just go to our website. Well, at least for the weekly shows at riversedgepgh.com/River Talk.
And we're always sharing stuff. You can always find it under my page, Jaye Cooper. Find it on Howie D Max page. So
well, yours is Coop Troop Comedy for Twitter.
Oh, we were talking about for Twitter, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, for Facebook, yeah, but for Twitter, yeah, Coop Troop Comedy and Instagram, and then his is
Howie D Mac everything.
And I'm at
Howie D Mac.
River Talk PGH on Twitter. So Facebook,
Yes.
I just have a personal Facebook, and if I deem you worthy, I'll consider letting you follow me.
I like that.
Actually, I'll probably add you. I add everybody. That's the thing. My Facebook is so cluttered because I just pretty much add everybody.
As long as you got more than one photo, I'll add you.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'll think you're fake.
exactly. That's another thing.
I
So,
like when they send you the thing that you think they like you or something. They be like, check out my webcam.
yeah.
And it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, not at all.
Because you're going to want me to subscribe to something and I'm not paying for shit.
I will be
And porn
at.
is for free for
I see
free for
naked
everybody.
chicks for free. I don't pay for that.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I people pay me to see them.
I need to hang out with you more than shit.
No, I wish. Tonight at 6 p.m., Panza Gallery. Do not miss it. It's the Groundhog Party. Maisie will be there. She will be waking up. She's going to be a party animal. There's going to be free beer from Victory Brewing. You don't want to miss it. Lots of good stuff. That, again, is at 6 p.m. at Panza Gallery. I will be back here in this studio tomorrow at 7 p.m. with Michael Cohen. We also, I'm excited to have Joey Marchi as well. He's going to be in studio with us, so good stuff there. Don't miss that. That's 7 p.m. at riversedgepgh.com/live. Well, we went on with our exit so long that we've run out of the song.
Wow.
So
that's the first time we've ever done that.
We're restarting the song. The song that we used to bookcase our show is Scumbag Inc., and they are from Solar Burn, a great metal band that you can hear on our sister station, The Metal Edge, which has launched at metaledgepgh.com, Pittsburgh's voice for local metal. This is the River's Edge. This is River Talk. For Howie D. Mack, for Jaye Cooper, I am Brian Crawford. I'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock, riversedgepgh.com/live, or right here on the River Talk Facebook page at River Talk PGH. Until then, catch you next time.
Later, bitches.
Woo!